I'll give you a couple of recent ones. One that was very difficult to do, but moved me tremendously was Ai Weiwei, the most famous artist in China, visual artist, the guy who did the Bird Nest Stadium for the Olympics, and an outspoken dissident of the and critic of the Chinese government. So he was detained and no one knew where he was for a few months last year. He's now under house arrest. He's not supposed to be doing interviews. He did it. We snuck a reporter in there to get a microphone to him, and he did an interview with me from his house arrest in Beijing. And to know that this man was risking his life and his security to do this, it was very moving. It was very powerful, and he's such a visionary as well. So Ai Weiwei would definitely be up there. I recently did an interview with Bjork, and there's a lot of sort of cliches about how she's like an alien, but I mean, doing an interview with her is just such an exercise in creative exploration, because she's literally speaking at times, and I don't know, there was one point in the interview where she was answering. It was a very linear question too. It was something like, "Tell me about this song on the record," and she started saying, "Yes, because it's more, I think, in like triangles, and when the triangle meets the circle," and I remember at one point looking at her, and she has this crazy mess of red hair, and looking at her going, "I have no idea what you're talking about." Harrison Ford, and I was young and didn't have a lot of experience as an interviewer, and he was really intimidating, and he was giving me one-word answers. And it's just like he was like this. I'm very straightforward now. I'll look the person in the eye and say, and this is what I did with Billy Bob Thornton, and I'm very interested in finding out what's going on. So I'll say, "Is there a problem?" I mean, with Harrison Ford now, I would say it's about having the confidence to know, but at the time, all I could think was, he hates me, this is horrible, he's looking at me like there's no question I could ask that he hasn't been asked a million times before, which might have been true, but I allowed myself to get intimidated by him. I thought it was that I was screwing up, that Harrison Ford was, hated me. And then I leave, and I start telling a couple people in the press, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he's famous for giving lousy interviews." And so I realized it wasn't, in that moment, I became intimidated and thought that I was the problem. I would really love to do a comprehensive sit-down interview at some point with Barack Obama.